This tutorial teaches you how to do financial modeling on Android using Kaluta Projection Methodology. This is the methodology developed by myself for a number of years in the course of provision of financial services, specifically business plan preparations for my clients. So let's see how Kaluta Projection Methodology works. This is the methodology that is done on monthly basis. So let's assume that you want to start a smartphone business, and let us assume that it takes you 3 months to prepare the business before it starts to generate revenues. So technically that period is called year zero, the period when you start a business but you haven't yet started generating revenues. That is year zero. So let me put here, let me type January 2022, and then after that I simply click on this and then choose fill option here, and then drag this to the right to autofill. Let me just select a number of columns here to be covered, and then I will adjust later because my projection takes 3-year projection. Now, as I said, year zero for me is January, February, and March. This is the period where the business has not yet started generating revenue. So I type year zero, and let me just put a formula here by putting a plus sign, and then click on year zero here, and then enter to select it. After selecting it, and then I click on it to fill, I choose fill, and then I drag this to the right so that the rest of the cells will contain a formula with year zero as its. Okay, so as I said, year zero for me is for the first 3 months, it's January, February, and March. From April, here I start year one, so I click on year zero on top of April, and then I just edit this by click again and then edit, or I can, because I have got a pad here to edit, so just click on year one. So year one starts from the month of April and it ends on March. So I go up to March, here March, this is the end of year one. From April 23, this is the start of year two. So I overwrite here with year two, and then up to March, and from here it is year three, so I overwrite to year three. And because my projections ends in year three, so up to March here I will put year T, that is year terminal, so that to provide continuity for the numbers that will be projected up to the month of March 25, which is the end of year 3. So I'm typing year T, and because my projections are on monthly basis, I will take for 12 months again, that is up to match. From here I don't need this, so I can just select from the top here and then select all this, click on delete to delete those extra. Now after that, let me start with assumptions. So I will start with inflation assumption. In order to do that, let me add a column here, so I'm click on top of this column to select all this column, and then after selecting this I just click on insert option here, insert, to create a column to the left so that I can type here. And here I am typing inflation rate. For these exercises, the the currency that is used for projection is Tanzanian shillings, so it is TZS. Okay, let me just add at the end, and let us assume that, okay, back in the column A here, I'm just double tap on top of the column in order to expand this column to fit all these explanations. So I double tap on top, and here you have inflation rate TZ covered in column A. So let us assume that the inflation rate for Tanzania is 5%. For Tanzanian shillings. Okay, you'll have to check this to confirm the ruling inflation rate in Tanzania, and for best practices you may need to take a rate that covers the period of a likely rate to cover the period of your projection. Okay, so in this case I have assumed 5% as inflation rate, and this one is going to remain true the rest of the period. So I'm just putting an equal sign here and then click on this 5% to the left in order to bring it here, and then I'm using Autofill here to take it, fill, so that this one is going to be true the rest of the period. Okay, after that, after having inflation rate, now I have inflation index. Inflation index. For the first 12 months, we assume to have the same inflation rate, that is the ruling one, which is 5%. So the inflation index will be 1. That means the same. So let me just put a formula here. So I'm clicking here on equal to, and then click on 1 here to pick it, and then let me autofill this So fill this to the rest, and then we'll do adjustments later. Up to the end here. Okay. Then for the first 12 months, January to December, we are going to have an inflation index of 1. From January 2023, we are going to have an inflation index that will grow up by 5%. So I'm putting a formula here by starting with equal sign, and then click on 1 here to the left, and then multiply by, put a bracket, and then 1 plus this 5% on top here. So that is my formula. So you can see the inflation has gone to inflation index has been grown by 5% in year 2 from January, and this one I can copy this now. From here I will select it up to, I'm just selecting this, January up to December here. I've selected this one, and then I'm choosing copy to copy this one. You see the copy sign here on top. After a sizer, there is a copy icon. I click on it. So I've copied it, and then I come from here, and then from here I paste. I click again to open the paste option. You see the paste option to the right of copy signal. So I click on paste. It has pasted, and then I do the same here, and then click on paste to do it for the remaining period. So what I actually did is that you can see for the first year period, 12-month period, inflation index is 1. After 1 year, inflation index is grown by 5%, that is 1.05. After 1 year, inflation index is grown by 5% on top of 105, so we have 1.1205. And then after 1 year, inflation rate is grown by 5% on top of 1.1025, we get 1.15725, and so on. So this is the inflation rate. So our computations are now going to be based on this inflation. For this tutorial, let us end up here, and then we will continue on the second lesson to project on further assumptions. Thanks for watching this. You're welcome to follow up further video presentations.